Hey guys, what's up? British Shinobi here, coming to another video. In this video, I'm going to show off some NES pickups that I've gotten and also some other miscellaneous pickups that I've gotten. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so Nintendo was giving out this at their Nintendo Club website for 400 points apiece, so I got both of the different ones they had. They are 3DS and DS game holders, game cases. Now these have 3 different pieces of paper that are double-sided that have all different decals and stuff on them. So it's really cool to see, and I filled one up to show you guys what it looks like with all the games inside of it. Now it doesn't matter if you have a DS or a 3DS game, if you try to push on it, they do not move. It's very nice and they will stay where they are. So they had a Zelda one, and this one is the Pikmin one, but the Pikmin decal is in between the other two on the inside and the outside. So these are both really cool, and as always, whenever you get anything from Club Nintendo, they have their little cards that go with it. The Mario and Toad is what I got this time. We have Dead or Alive 5 Plus, which is complete if it did not come with a manual. And the Dead or Alive series is a series that I've played a lot of, one of my favorites being the one on the 3DS. And it is a really cool fighting game, so if you have a PS Vita, definitely check this out. Okay, we have a Blue Sports Game Gear. And this Game Gear is in decent shape. It has a few scuffs and scratches on the plastic, so if anybody knows how to get scuffs and scratches out of plastic, let me know, because I'd definitely be interested in finding out how to make this as perfect of condition as it can be. Now, if you know from my past videos, you would have known that I got Ys, Memories of Celceta, for the PlayStation Vita, the regular edition. And I saw that at a GameStop for $20, so everything in there is sealed except for the game itself. It is in a very nice condition, and I'll read off to you what it comes with. It has the game, a cloth map of the lands of Celceta, a working compass, a copy of Adol's Travel Journey, which is a 120-page art book and strategy guide, and it also has 3 exclusive music CDs packed with selections from the musical history of Ys. So the music CD is not just from Memories of Celceta, it is from some of the best soundtracks of the Ys series in general. So this is a very cool pack that I would definitely recommend you guys to get. Okay, so when I got my Superboy, I wanted to play some Street Fighter games on it to see how well the joystick worked. Not joystick, the D-pad worked. So I looked to go grab a Street Fighter 2 off of my shelf, and I found that I didn't have it. So I went and picked up Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Now, if you don't know what Street Fighter 2 Street Fighter series in general is, it's basically a fighting series that is one of the, if not the most popular fighting game series that has ever been released on consoles. So this is a very cool game and a very cool series, so if you've not played a game in the series, definitely check it out. Up next we have Terranigma, which is made by Enix, which is the 3rd installment of the trilogy of Skyblazer, Illusion of Gaia, and Terranigma was the 3rd one. This one was never given a US release. It was only released in Japan and Europe. This is a fan translation in English, so if you guys want to see me do a Let's Play of this, let me know so I can do a Let's Play of this. It would be really cool to do a Let's Play of this game, because I have played through a little bit of it, and what I have seen, the translation is very good, the gameplay is very nice. It's a very good game overall. Now we're going to get into the NES pickups. Now, getting these NES games brought my NES game total to 385 games. So I currently am 15 games away from getting 400 games after I show you off what these are. These games made it 385, so it was really cool to get all of these, and I was really happy to get all of these for a very good and cheap price. First off, we have Alpha Mission, which is a traditional shoot-'em-up. We have MC Kids, which is basically McDonald's platformer. There's not much else to it, it's just advertisement placed on a game with some decent platforming aspects. We have Ikari Warriors, which is kind of hard to explain. You are a character that goes around and shoots enemies from bottom to top, and you can get into tanks and shoot and other things like that. There were 3 games that came out in the series, so if you have played this one and you like it, definitely check out 2 and 3. Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego is kind of a game that's hard to explain. You go through different time periods trying to find Carmen Sandiego, and you learn history about the lands and different rulers and other things like that. So this was a really interesting and informative game. So if you're looking for a game that you're not going to see any other games like it on the NES, definitely check this out. We have Tecmo Baseball, which is a sports game on the NES, baseball game. Not much else to say about it. We have Tailspin, which is a platforming kind of like shoot-'em-up-y game. You fly around in a plane in a fixed area, shooting at things, enemies, so not much else to say about that. There is, excuse me if I say this wrong, The Magic of Scheherazade. This is a decent RPG, not the best, but definitely not the worst that I've seen on the NES. It's kind of confusing, so play this if you're interested in playing a decent RPG. So this is a good one to track down if you do not have it. Let's see, we have High Speed, World's #1 Pinball. This is a pinball game on the NES. There's not much else about it that's that special. We have Ring King, which is a boxing game, kind of like the WWE series. It's not really anything too extremely special, but it's definitely not an LJN game, so it was okay. We have Abadox, which is a left-to-right shooter. My only gripe with this game is that your character moves slow up and down, so it's kind of hard to anticipate. You have to basically guess where the enemies are going to be before they get there. So this is a game that's challenging, but it's pretty good. We have Rockin' Ball, which is basically a casino simulator on the NES. Nothing really else that's that unique about it. We have The Rocketeer, which is actually a really hard, fun, like, platformer game. You can attack. The enemies have guns, but you only are armed with your fists, so it's a little difficult to hit the enemies without getting hit. So you have to time your jumps just right. So this is a good game to pick up if you see it for cheap. Up next, we have Ghostbusters 1 and 2. And these games were really confusing. They're definitely not on my top 10 list. I didn't really know what to do in these games, and I found myself dying repeatedly before I could even defeat a single enemy or anything. So, I don't know if I was playing it wrong, or if the game is just extremely hard, but Ghostbusters 1 and 2 were cheap, so I picked them up. Okay, we have The Three Stooges, which is basically a mini-game where you go through different things. You can throw pies, pick up crackers out of soup, other things like that. Try to get a certain amount of money within 30 days to save an orphanage. So that was pretty cool to play. We have Gumshoe, which is a interesting platformer in which you can only jump by using a gun. And the other gun, yes, you have to have 2 guns plugged into the system to make this game work, is to shoot enemies. So you shoot enemies with the player 2 gun, and with the player 1 gun you jump. So you have to get the balloons and avoid enemies all the while shooting at the enemies and getting more points. So this was an interesting game, a black box game that not a lot of people get. So if you are interested in playing this, definitely check it out if you find it for a good price. Let's see, we have Pirates. And Pirates is basically a pirate simulation. You fight other pirates, plunder, go into saloons, other things like that. So this was interesting. It's a game that I haven't seen too many others like it on the NES, so it was definitely interesting to play. We have Super Jeopardy, which is Jeopardy on the NES, so there's not it's not anything special. We have Raid on Bungling Bay, which is basically a shoot 'em up, but you can go in any direction. You can go 360 anywhere around the map, and fighting enemies and other things like that. The controls are a little weird because you have to use the D-pad, and you can go forward and back with one, and you turn with the up and down. So it's a little weird, but other than that, it was a fun game to play. We have 720, which is a skateboarding simulation game. It's not anything special either. We have Silkworm, which is a shoot-'em-up left to right where you can be a helicopter or a tank and shoot things, kind of like Firepower 2600. I might be wrong on the number there, but I think I'm not. Or it might be 2000 on the Super Nintendo, which you can also fight as a helicopter and a tank. So both of those games are pretty cool, so check those out. We have Thundercade, which is an interesting top-down shooter because you are on ground in a little motorcycle with weapons on your side, shooting at enemies and tanks and buildings. So it was an interesting game to play. I hadn't really seen any shoot-'em-ups like this on the NES, so it was pretty different. It was interesting. We have Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Chippendale Rescue Rangers is an interesting platformer. I had a lot of fun with it. Chippendale's Rescue Rangers 2 is a extremely rare and hard to find game, so that game is definitely on my list after playing this game. We have Magic Darts, which is it's darts on the NES. There's a game for every single person on the NES, every person who likes any kind of sports or anything, there's a game for you. We have Star Voyager, and this is basically you are in space in a spaceship that you pilot around, shoot enemies, go to planets, other things like that. I didn't have a lot of fun with this game. It was okay, but it didn't show me anything that I hadn't already seen in other games. So it was decent. Let's see, we have the Blues Brothers. Now, the Blues Brothers is a more uncommon game than the other games that I've been showing off. And it is an interesting platformer because in the first stage, you have to jump all the way up on the roof of a building, jump on clouds, and then jump off at the end of the stage into nothingness, and that's how you beat the first level. So this is an interesting, quirky game. So this was a good price, so I picked it up. It was actually pretty good. I liked playing it, so definitely pick this game up if you see it for a good price. We have Totally Rad, and Totally Rad is another uncommon. It's more uncommon than the other ones that I've shown off. It's kind of based off of the first stage, which was the only stage I could complete while playing it. You kind of seems like Mega Man. You can do a spin jump, which is good and interesting, different from Mega Man. You can shoot, you can charge up your shot, but you cannot hold your shot. Whenever you jump, your shot goes out of your arm. So it's fun, it's challenging, it's a pretty cool game based off of what I've played. And we also have Wampum, which is another more uncommon game. This game is a action platformer, where you play as an Indian with a spear, then you hit things, and the platforming definitely reminds me of Bucky O'Hare along with the character sprites. So it's a really cool game. You have to go through 7 or 8 different boss battles to get gem orbs, which will let you beat the game. So this is definitely a more uncommon game, but definitely a better game on the system. So if you do see it anywhere and it's a good price, definitely pick this game up. That's all I have for pickups, but let me know if there's any games that you've seen me pick up in any pickup videos that I can play on a TV that you want to see a Let's Play of. Because I want to use my video recording software to record some Let's Plays for you guys. So give me some ideas on some games you'd like to see played. It can be Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, N64, PS2, PS1, Genesis, anything really that I can play on a TV. So let me know, but remember to like, comment, subscribe. This is Retro Shinobi, signing out.